Story: The One Who Didn't Clap. I learned early that people are predictable, not because they're stupid, but because they want to believe good things. At 7, I figured out that silence scared adults more than lies. If I stayed quiet long enough, teachers would soften their voices. At home, if I stared at the floor and let my lips tremble, punishment disappeared. By the time I was 10, I stopped reacting emotionally altogether. Instead, I watched. I noticed which expressions earned forgiveness, which stories earned sympathy, and which smiles made people feel important. I became excellent at being whatever was needed. With friends, I was the listener, the one who understood, the one people trusted with secrets. Inside, I felt nothing but irritation. Their problems felt repetitive, loud, inconvenient, but I nodded. I mirrored their emotions. I said things like, "That must have been so hard for you. They loved me for it. Teachers loved me more." I raised my hand just enough to seem engaged. I volunteered just enough to be noted. When I forgot assignments, I apologized with my eyes instead of my mouth. It worked every time. By high school, my reputation was flawless. People described me as pure, kind, the nicest person in the room. I collected admiration like currency. If I disappeared, people worried. If I returned, they were grateful. I never felt guilty. Why would I? Everyone was getting what they wanted, and I was getting what I needed. Then one day, we had a school assembly. Nothing special. Just another speaker talking about integrity and honesty. Students clapped on cue. Teachers nodded thoughtfully. I clapped too, until I noticed someone who didn't. A boy sitting 3 rows behind me. Hands still. Expression unreadable. I glanced back again later. He was watching me, not staring, observing. The feeling unsettled. Over the next few weeks, I noticed him everywhere. In the hallway, in class, never approaching, never reacting, noticing. I told myself it meant nothing. Then came group presentations. I did what I always did. Took control without appearing controlling. Smiled, encouraged, delegated gently. By the end, the group followed me without question. When the teacher praised my leadership, the class applauded. Everyone did. After class, he walked past my desk and dropped a folded paper beside my notebooks. One sentence. "You don't react when people praise you. You only check if they're convinced." My chest tightened. I laughed it off. Probably some wannabe psychologist. But the next day, another note appeared. "You repeat the same apologies to different teachers. Same pauses, same tone. Then another. You disappear when attention fades. You return when guilt." Finally, I confronted him after school. Cornered him near the lockers. "Why are you doing this?" I asked, keeping my voice calm. He studied my face the way someone examines a cracked mirror. "I'm not doing anything," he said. "You are." "Do you want something?" I snapped. "No," he replied. "I just wanted to see if you noticed." "Noticed what?" "That you don't exist when no one is watching." The words hit harder than any accusation ever had. I waited for a threat. Blackmail. Exposure. Something. Instead, he shrugged. "I used to live like that too," he said. "It gets quiet when you stop." Then he walked away. No warning, no demands, no consequences, just silence. That night, I stood in front of the mirror longer than usual, tried to make a face that felt real. Nothing came. The next week, he was gone. Transferred. No explanation. Everyone went back to normal. So did I, mostly. But now, every time I smile for approval, every time I calculate the right response, there's a pause. And a question I can't silence anymore. If no one was here to believe me, what would be left?